Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're working on my Get to Know My Neighborhood Every Other Week project we've been working on since the beginning of the year. And this is a 2-block project. I'm making one for myself and possibly one for you. So don't forget to leave the comment below so we can put you into the draw to be able to win this beautiful project at the very end of the year. So this block here is actually block 13. I spoke the last time. Actually, that was block 12. So this is block 13. I'm sorry about that. And this is the one that helps represent the beautiful cows that have been hanging around in our back 8 to 9 acres of our property. Not the back, but the ones just right behind the house. And we've had these guys up on the higher part of the field, on the other part of the acreages for the winter. So it was nice to see the little dots up there, but it was also really nice to see them up close, especially with their wee babies. And it was just adorable, and I absolutely loved having them close. So they have moved on to the other pastures of other people's properties. And this is, I don't want to miss out just in case they never come back, because we plan on building other things here. I want to definitely remember this. So this is to represent the couple of cows, or the 30 cows that were hanging out with us for a couple of bits. So there we go. So we're going to work on that. So you can see that there in the overhead. Love it. So cute, so cute. So I just went and researched cow coloring book pages and put it up on my monitor, like they're just my regular computer monitor. And then I took my heat and bond paper and I held it up to the monitor and then traced around the cow shape. So just so you know that if you're going to trace the cow, and it's going to be, hold on, where's the one we were working on here? You're going to trace it out this way, just so you can see that, okay? It's actually going to be represented that way, so come back. So make sure if you want to find a cow that's facing, like from head facing left or right, depending on how you want to trace out your cow, okay? So, or whatever else you want to do to get to know your neighborhood, okay? So that, we'll just move that one off to the side. And I just did that a couple times and then found different ones in shapes, and then, you know, made it a little bit smaller to represent the smaller cow. So right here I have the 2 cows down and a little bit of the grass. I also have my sun here, so we'll just peel that off and get it popped into place, because we're just going to heat and press this. This is just a heat and press project, but if you wanted to applique down, I did a recent video on 3 different types of applique plus 1 little extra of the straight stitch. You can go check out that video. It would be very helpful. Okay, so we got our sun down, and we're going to gather the rest of our little bits here. We have our big cow to cut out. Well, let's place that back there. And I just chose some nice colorful fabric to represent the cows to make. I've got some black there's a couple bit black ones, but there's some burgundies and some oranges, and they're beautiful. They are hornless. They're hornless cows. So we didn't have to worry about that at all. All right, so let's cut this one out. It can be a little bit fiddly depending what size you're doing. These blocks will be finished at about 8.5 by 8.5 when all done, but I did cut my squares of fabric, these right here, the gray background pieces, at 9 by 9, just to allow for a little bit of squaring up as we're going, as we get finished. So just cut the shape out. This actually is some textured fabric here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's actually got a bit of a houndstooth on it, and it's almost like a little bit of a velvet feel to it. I did find that I had to press a little harder for it to stick to my background when I did the first cow. I found them very quiet. Like when we said that they could come and hang out on the land like they had previously, I didn't want to disturb the man's, process of him, what he was doing before. I didn't want to throw a spanner in the works. So it's not like we had major plans for the 90 acres at first, right? So, so it was a good idea. I was like, oh, and I thought they were going to be a little a little loud or something. No, they're super quiet, super quiet. Only every now and again you'd hear a moo. So no, we really enjoyed having them here. I learned a lot. I learned a lot just in the couple of weeks that they were munching around on the back acres. And I'm glad we had plenty of water for them to keep themselves sustained for those few weeks. We have kind of like two little pondy areas. One's much deeper than the other, according to the farmer who's been using it. So I was like, oh, that's good to know. Because I'm like, do you want to put like a water trough out here, and I'll fill it up with the hose? And he says, you know, they drink like thousands and thousands of gallons of water. I'm like, well, I'll just leave the hose in it. He said it was very nice of me to offer, but he's never had someone where he was using the land offer that before. I'm like, oh well, what can I say? Okay, that one was a little bit more fiddly to cut out because of the fabric. Like I said, it's got like a bit of a suede sort of texture to it. I'm just re-sticking my heat and bond just to make sure it's going to stay there. Let's move these guys off to the scrappy pile. So let's lay our grass, because I've got the grass behind this cow right here. Okay, so let's put that one down. And if you layer it up properly, or to your liking, when it doesn't have to be properly, I'm not sure why I said that, I apologize. To your liking, it'll look really neat. It'll look really neat. Okay, so we'll put that guy there. Grab another stem of my grass. And I'm trying to keep things consistent through some of the blocks, like my triangle grass, my, you know, little V black birds, those sorts of things. Okay, all right, we'll take this paper off. It, like I said, can be a little bit fiddly. Careful, you don't want to rip. Don't want to rip your project. Okay, we've got a little bit left paper down here, so let's pull that off. And you can tell it's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit, I'm not sure if you could actually see that texture in there, but okay, we'll put that there. Okay, move it up a bit. There. And then I had a couple little bits of grass closer. I made them smaller. You can do grass different way if you like. That's completely up to you. You could even add the grass as a stitch. That would be interesting, like doing it as a free motion sort of stitch. All right. Okay, so we'll put him there-ish. Okay, and then for my bird, I just have a little bit of black. I'm just going to fold that in half, and I'm going to do a V. Okay, like it's flying. So we're going to go from the bottom, do a curve up. Okay, and then from that curve up, come a point, and we come back. Look at that. Okay, probably a little bit more prominent on that part. There we go, that's better. There we go. It almost looks like a bird of prey on that one. Okay, so move that over there. Move him back over there. Okay. Put that there. And then we have our little fence to build. So I just used some brown and black. It's just got tiny little stripes. It's almost like a little checkered pattern sort of thing. And I just cut off, I'd say maybe quarter of an inch, a half an inch, a couple little posts to represent them being inside the fence line. Represent the posts as well. So, and I did 5, so 3 in the front and then 1 on either side. And I thought that would look okay. It is a beautiful day here, East Coast, Nova Scotia. The sun is shining, the wind is blowing. It is a gorgeous summer day. Now, why is this being so fiddly? There you go. There we go. Okay, so we'll put 1 on the side here. I'll make sure everybody gets into position before we give it a good press. If you don't want to do a big press, you can do little presses as you're going along to keep everybody in place. Okay, so we've got one here. Just trying to make sure they're close as can be to each other, because I want them to be as matchy as they can. So, because like I said, one of you guys are going to win one, and I get the other. Don't forget to leave a comment. And I've been having such a good time putting this project together. It's been so much fun for me to really absorb what's going on around my neighborhood and be able to try and represent it into a quilt block. I mean, we had 3 weeks of road crew, but I really didn't want to be making a road crew block. You know what I mean? All right, I think we're pretty good there. It looks very similar to the first one I made up. Let me just give it a really quick look here to make sure. I'm loving it. And that adds a nice little texture. I love that little feel to that black cow. Okay, I think we're good. I'm liking it. It looks pretty spiffy. Okay, so we're just going to gently press, okay? If you rub back and forth, you might lose the position of what you had put down. That's why sometimes, like I said, if you want to do little steps at a time, press it little steps at a time and go forward. Okay, we'll have to leave this for just a second longer, try and get that black fabric to stay. Lift up. It is very tempting to move it back and forth, the iron, but you don't want it to slip. Okay. Oops, this one shifted. Okay, let's move that back into position, and then we are almost done. Okay, give it a little heat loving. Make sure our sun stays on as well. And like I said, a little bit more for that textured black fabric, and it'll be okay. All right. There we go. Isn't it beautiful? It's going to be, this quilt project has been, like I said, so much fun to make and to partake and try to implement what's around me to the best of my ability. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We appreciate you greatly. Don't forget, Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we stream on our, we're usually working on something fun and exciting. This next couple weeks, we're working on a flower patch quilt, gifted to the shop by Miss Allison, one of our moderators, and thank you very much for that. And then we've got a couple other little projects that we're going to do throughout the summer. So some just one-day projects and some just a little bit longer. So thank you for joining us. Big hugs to you, and we will see you real soon. Oops. There we go. Here we go. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the day. Be good.